You know what, though? I'm starting to see this, man, that Shadur got a chokehold on the city. He got a chokehold on the fans, man. He got a chokehold on the other coaches. I know a lot of coaches on that staff. They love Shadur. And the players, I mean, you see how Myles Garrett responds to Shadur every time he plays. And it's like the leader of the team don't come off like that. So, yes, I truly think that it's time for him to go.
What you make of the report, Care Bear? Like, what do you make of it all?
I think it's time to go. For Kevin Stefanski.
Accuracy, his footwork has gotten better. He's got a lot of moxie and drive and all of those kinds of things. You might just have to say, okay, we only have a 7-game sample size, but we think that he's got it.
And that's what you want from your quarterback right now. You want to see that progress. They definitely saw that. They were playing against too high coverage, and he had to take some underneath.
Mary Kay Cabot has finally confirmed what many inside the building have quietly believed for weeks now. Andrew Berry's long-term plan for the Cleveland Browns is officially in motion, and Shedeur Sanders is at the center of it all. According to Cabot's reporting, Sanders will be given the full, uninterrupted opportunity to prepare as QB1 heading into the 2026 season. And that detail alone changes everything about how this franchise is moving. After just 7 starts, the Browns front office, led by Andrew Berry, has seen enough. That alone tells you how significant this evaluation really is. This isn't a casual endorsement or a temporary vote of confidence. This is the organization signaling that they believe Shedeur Sanders has the tools, the mindset, and the ceiling to be the guy moving forward.
In practice, because I've seen them with my own 2 eyes, Shedeur Sanders, I've told you guys so many times, throws a beautiful ball. He is very, very accurate. He has elite accuracy.
In her detailed breakdown, Mary Kay highlighted how both the front office and the coaching staff have been tracking Shedeur's growth closely. The improvement hasn't been subtle. His accuracy has tightened up. His pocket movement has become more controlled, and his poise under pressure has stood out in a way that demands attention. These aren't surface-level traits. These are quarterback fundamentals that translate at the NFL level. What makes this commitment even louder is the timing. The Browns aren't waiting years to make a decision. After 7 games, they've already decided that Shadur deserves the runway. That speaks volumes about how highly they view his trajectory. For a franchise that's been stuck in quarterback limbo for decades, this is a rare moment of clarity. This move effectively locks in Shedeur Sanders as the undisputed starter heading into next season. No hedging. No open competitions designed to protect egos. The Browns are planting their flag and saying, this is our quarterback. And considering the chaos this franchise has lived through at the position, that kind of conviction is massive. This isn't just about finishing out the current season either. This is about the full picture. The entire offseason, OTAs, training camp, the preseason. Every rep will be designed around Shedeur Sanders developing as the leader they believe he can become. That kind of continuity matters, especially for a young quarterback trying to establish rhythm, confidence, and command. The Browns are banking on his talent, and now it's official. They've stopped dancing around the decision and put their chips on the table. That alone sends a message to the locker room, the coaching staff, and the league. And context matters here. For anyone who follows the Cleveland Browns closely, Mary Kay Cabot isn't just another reporter. She's one of the most trusted and connected voices around the organization. She's been covering this team for years, and her credibility has been built on accuracy, not speculation. When Mary Kay speaks, people inside and outside the building listen. That's why her confirmation of Andrew Berry's plan carries real weight. This isn't rumor. This is sourced, deliberate, and calculated reporting. According to Cabot, the Browns' leadership has already seen enough from Shedeur Sanders in 7 games to make a major commitment. That's not normal. That's not something this franchise does lightly, especially given their history. And the growth has been real. Shedeur's development over this short stretch has forced fans and analysts to take notice. He's shown flashes that separate him from past experiments at the position. Calm under fire, smart decisions, and a confidence that doesn't crumble when things go sideways.
Shedeur is not playing with a full deck. I think that goes without saying. But, I want to see him play against Pittsburgh's top crew because I'm evaluating him just like the Browns probably are. I want to figure out, is Shedeur Sanders my path forward, or do I have to go back to the well? Am I going back to drafting a quarterback? And the one thing that Shedeur Sanders could do, and I think everybody, whether you're a Shedeur fan or whether you're one of his haters, I think everybody agreed on, well, the one thing that he can do is play so well that he wins games and knocks the Browns out of that draft positioning to draft his replacement. And that's the opportunity that awaits him against Pittsburgh. Like, if you win that game and you play well.
When Shadur first entered the league, questions followed him. That's expected. The jump from college to the NFL is brutal, especially for quarterbacks. The speed is different. The windows are tighter. The pressure is constant. But what Shadur has done so quickly is hard to ignore. His accuracy has become one of his defining traits. In fact, it's already among the best the Browns have seen in recent years. That's not hype, that's tape. Mary Kay specifically highlighted his accuracy as a standout element of his game. And accuracy travels, especially in high-pressure moments where mechanics break down and chaos takes over. Shadur has shown he can stay composed and deliver precise throws when it matters most. His deep ball has also turned heads. Whether it's dropping passes in stride or placing the ball exactly where only his receiver can get it, the touch and placement have been there. That level of precision is something the Browns have desperately lacked for far too long. This isn't just about stats. It's about trust. Trust from the front office, trust from the staff, and now, trust from the organization as a whole. The Browns are finally committing to a quarterback with intention, and Shedeur Sanders is the one they believe can change the direction of this franchise. This detail is a massive factor in Andrew Berry's decision to hand Shedeur Sanders the full preseason as QB1. Accuracy is the foundation of everything at the quarterback position, and Shedeur's consistency has given the front office real confidence that he can be the long-term answer under center. This isn't guesswork or hope. This is based on tape, reps, and how the ball comes out of his hand under pressure. Mary Kay Cabot also made it clear that accuracy wasn't the only trait catching eyes. One of the most important strengths she highlighted was Shedeur Sanders' ability to move within the pocket across his 7 starts. That detail matters more than most fans realize. Shadur has shown impressive poise, balance, and awareness while keeping his eyes downfield. He doesn't panic. He doesn't immediately break structure. He slides, resets, and stays composed even when protection breaks down.
You will have another feather in your cap, like the Raiders game, like the Titans game, and even though those aren't great opponents, you'll be able to say, well, I played well. And for the sake of the Raiders game, well, I won. If he beats Pittsburgh, well, I won. I became the first quarterback since, Dorian Thompson-Robinson to defeat the Steelers and Jameis Winston last year in the snow that beat the Steelers. So, I do think this game, even though it is kind of feels meaningless, there's still a lot of reason to tune in because the future of the franchise quite literally could be at stake. To me, it's that impactful long term.
In today's NFL, that skill separates playable quarterbacks from short-term stopgaps. This kind of pocket movement is often overlooked, but it's absolutely critical. NFL defenses are faster, more complex, and more aggressive than anything most college quarterbacks have ever faced. Pressure comes from everywhere. The fact that Shadur can navigate chaos without turning plays into disasters is a major reason the Browns are sold on his future. What stands out is how controlled everything looks. He's not drifting backward. He's not spinning into sacks. He's moving with purpose. That calm movement allows him to keep his mechanics intact and avoid the erratic decisions that derail young quarterbacks early in their careers. That poise under fire speaks directly to his mental makeup. You can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. And Andrew Berry clearly believes Shadur has it. Berry's decision to give Shedeur Sanders the full runway heading into the 2026 season says everything. This is a general manager committing time, resources, and organizational alignment around one player. That's not a short-term move. That's a vision for where the franchise is headed. The Browns aren't chasing another quick fix. They aren't cycling through placeholders. They want stability. They want a quarterback who can grow with the roster and lead for years. Andrew Berry has made it clear that Shadur is that guy. This isn't a trial period. This isn't a wait-and-see approach. The Browns front office is fully invested in Shedeur Sanders, and that commitment is showing up behind the scenes. Berry's confidence isn't just theoretical either. According to sources, Andrew Berry personally went down to the Browns' locker room to meet with Shedeur Sanders face-to-face. That kind of direct interaction is rare, especially with a quarterback this early in his career. That meeting wasn't accidental. It wasn't routine. It was intentional. Berry wanted Shadur to know exactly where he stands. When a general manager takes that step, it sends a clear message about trust, belief, and expectations. This wasn't a casual check-in or a motivational speech. It was a signal that the organization is aligned behind him. That matters for a quarterback stepping into a leadership role. Shedeur Sanders has earned this opportunity. In a short amount of time, he's already shown enough skill, discipline, and upside that the Browns can't ignore what's developing in front of them. Now, with full backing from Andrew Berry and the entire organization, Shadur will be given a complete and structured chance to develop as the Browns quarterback heading into 2026. That kind of support is something this franchise hasn't consistently provided at the position. The plan includes a full offseason and preseason built specifically around Shadeur's development. That's where quarterbacks are made or broken. Learning the system, building chemistry, mastering protections, understanding personnel, all of it happens away from Sundays. The Browns understand how critical that time is. Quarterback growth isn't just about game reps. It's about preparation, repetition, and immersion. Shadur will finally get all three. By the time the 2026 season arrives, the Browns expect him to be fully prepared to take over as QB1. This decision isn't just about talent. It's about leadership and mindset. Shadur has already shown he can command respect through his work ethic and approach. He doesn't shy away from responsibility. He leans into it. That's the type of quarterback this locker room needs. The Browns front office isn't just evaluating Shedeur Sanders as a short-term solution, they're viewing him as the future face of the franchise. That distinction matters. This is why the organization is making such a deliberate and public commitment to his development. They believe in his long-term ceiling, not just what he's already shown in a limited sample. The full offseason and preseason are critical pieces of this plan. This isn't about hype or momentum. This is about giving Shadur the space and structure to prove he's not a one-hit story or a temporary spark. The Browns want confirmation that what they're seeing now is sustainable, repeatable, and scalable at the highest level. This window gives him the chance to separate himself as a true leader. Not just a quarterback who can make throws, but one who can command the room, control the huddle, and elevate the players around him. That's what this evaluation period is really about. Ownership is paying close attention too. Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, has weighed in directly on this direction. According to sources, Haslam has been involved in conversations with Shedeur's father, Sanders, to discuss the long-term plan and vision for Shedeur's future with the team. That level of involvement from ownership is massive. Owners don't step into these discussions unless the player truly matters to the franchise's direction. This sends a clear message internally and across the league that the Browns are aligned at every level. When the owner is engaged in a quarterback's development path, it changes the stakes. It tells coaches, executives, and players that this isn't just another experiment. This is an organizational priority. Jimmy Haslam's support is another strong signal that the Browns believe Shedeur Sanders has the potential to lead this team where it hasn't been consistently in years. He's seen enough growth, composure, and upside to back this plan fully. With ownership backing him, Shadur now has a real chance to prove he can be the QB when the Browns need to push back into playoff relevance and beyond. That kind of trust is rare in Cleveland's recent history. As the 2026 season approaches, the Browns are clearly entering a new era with Shedeur Sanders positioned at the center of it all. This isn't a rebuild without direction. This is a plan built around continuity, development, and belief. The alignment between Andrew Berry's vision, Mary Kay Cabot's confirmation, and Jimmy Haslam's support all point to one unavoidable conclusion. Shedeur Sanders is the future of the Cleveland Browns. This is a defining moment for the franchise. The Browns have cycled through quarterbacks for years without stability or identity. That revolving door has stalled progress and wasted talent. Now, for the first time in a long time, there's clarity. There's a quarterback with upside, composure, and organizational backing all moving in the same direction. The decision to make Shadur the projected starter for 2026 isn't just a football call. It's a franchise-defining decision that will shape roster moves, coaching plans, and long-term strategy. If Shadur continues on this trajectory and develops into the quarterback the Browns believe he can become, the future looks completely different in Cleveland. Stability at quarterback changes everything. So what does all of this mean for the Browns? It means they finally have a clear and unified plan at the most important position in sports. They're committing to development instead of panic. They're putting real trust in Shedeur Sanders and giving him every tool needed to succeed. That includes time, reps, support, and belief. With Andrew Berry, the front office, and Jimmy Haslam fully aligned, Shadur now controls his own path. The opportunity is real. The expectations are real. The road ahead won't be easy. It never is in the NFL. But the Browns believe Shedeur Sanders has the mindset, talent, and leadership to handle what comes next. As the 2026 season draws closer, one thing is clear. Shedeur Sanders is ready for the challenge. And for the first time in a long time, the Cleveland Browns are ready to build their future around a quarterback with conviction.